Yeah, frustration, I guess. Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? I think it was a fought out contest with two good teams. I felt like we were the more dominant team for the majority of the game. And it was going to be that little lapse in concentration, whether that was from them or from us. And yeah, obviously it's from us, and we come away with a lot of disappointments. But I think ultimately for us, we had the better chances in the first half. We probably had some more clear cut ones in the second. If you don't finish your chances, unfortunately, you don't win football games. So we've learnt the hard way today, but we've got to use that as fuel for next weekend.
You talk about lapses in concentration. There was more than one. That wasn't the first chance that you'd given Durham. But what do you put it down to, and how do you feel you couldn't stop it happening again?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I think there wasn't the fatigue there. We felt refreshed from Wednesday night, and I guess we trust the players to perform, and they had my full backing and trust. And yeah, unfortunately these things happen. I guess lapse in concentration maybe, and then yeah, mistakes happen in football, I guess.
Certainly in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes in injury time, did it feel like a team that's been in the Championship for 11 years playing a team that's been in the Championship for 1 year, or is that not fair?
Yeah, I think to be fair, we didn't feel that emotional going into the fixture. I think the pressure was on them, if anything, because as you say, we're a new team in the Championship. We've obviously got the Newcastle badge to represent, so we have that pressure that we put on ourselves to, we've had that investment, so we want to do well for the club. But yeah, I think, as you said, that they've got experienced players, they've been in this league for a long time, and they've had that feel of a derby in the Championship before, which we haven't. So they'll have had those battles with Sunderland last season and taken some lessons away from them. And yeah, unfortunately, we've come on the end of the bad result.
Just last one for me, you've got the derby to come.
Yeah.
But have you got a psychological pickup to give the players, or will they be able to do that themselves?
I think we've got some great leaders in the dressing room. I think Sophie Hayward said in her interview last week, we're not short of leaders. So yeah, they'll definitely be driving themselves. But, my role and Claire's and the staff will be to pick the girls up and, drive them and get those spirits high and going into next week. Cheers.
Hello, Becky. A few games into a season now. I know today wasn't the result that you wanted, but just honestly, how you feel like things have been so far with new players coming in, just the way teams are playing?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I think we've got good results out of all 4 of the fixtures we've played prior to today. Was delighted with the girls' performance on Wednesday night against a WSL team, and we wanted to take that positive momentum into today. I thought we started the game really well. I thought we were the better team in the first half. Actually thought again we started the second half, in a good, confident front foot. But yeah, lapses of concentration. Yeah, lost our focus and discipline slightly, and then we found ourselves on the end of a poor result.
And of course, we just played one derby there. We can't not talk about the fact that we've got another derby next week.
Yeah.
Sunderland at the stadium, and just how they're going to be going into that game, just how important is it that we can get as many fans there as possible to show the girls our full support.
Yeah, honestly, the fans, they were fantastic today, and we need that drive and that 12 man, 12 woman in the crowd to be driving us next week again at the Stadium of Light. But, we're not short of motivation. We want to, put today right. And there's one really good chance to do that next week, and the whole feeling will change within 7 days. So it's been a positive week. It's ended on a negative. But yeah, we've just got to use the positives from today. We created lots of chances. I'll be interested to see the stats back and review the footage. But I think we take the positives from today and then build on it.
And finally for me, I know Eddie Howe was asked this question last week, but there's been a lot of media attention surrounding St James's Park now. What does the stadium mean for you and the girls? And I guess if you had the opportunity, would you want to stay at St James's Park going forward and the location that we have?
Yeah, I think St James's and the location super special. And, the memories I have with the players from the first time we played there were, unwritable. It was the most special moment ever when we were in Tier 4 coming out of 22,000 fans at St James's. So the stadium itself has a lot of feelings and a lot of kind of beautiful memories for us. So I think it would be hard to move. Equally, I also know we've got super ambitious owners that want the football club to keep growing. So yeah, I think either decision, it'll be the best for the football club.
Thank you.
Okay, you're not used to losing, but when you have done, you tended to bounce back in really good style. You back yourselves to do that again.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you lose a game, you don't want that to become a hangover, and then you lose the next one. It starts to be a bit of a negative spiral. I think we've got to use that as fuel. Did we think we were going to win absolutely every single game in a long season? You know, we've got our own maturity around that, I guess. You know, it is what it is. It's football. It's not the first time we've lost a game. We use that as momentum now, and it stings, definitely. So we've got to use that bite to drive us in next week.
Does it feel like a step up, the Championship?
Yeah, definitely. The quality in the league is much higher, but the quality on our team is as well. So in terms of that, it does feel like a step up. But equally, I genuinely thought we were the better team today. So unfortunately, we're just on the end of the wrong outcome.
Yeah, and I mean, you started well, Durham started very well.
Yeah.
But from today's evidence, this isn't a division that you'd be fearful of, is it?
No, definitely not. I think we do recognise that teams can drop points to everybody. You know, it was only Charlton who dropped points, you know, today. It was Birmingham who dropped points to Durham last week in terms of they lost 1-0 similar to us. So, yeah, I think the division has got quality at the top end and the bottom end, and we've just got to make sure we've got focus in each of those games.
Becky, commiserations on today, but when you look at that first half in particular, is it just the fact that Durham's goalkeeper was absolutely outstanding to make several good saves is the only reason why you're not coming for the positive result today?
Yeah, I thought Saunders made some excellent saves, especially the one in the first half from Amber. I thought, you know, she got a really good fingertip to that one. So the margins are so small, of course. I think we've got to, again, look at our finishing and refine each aspect of it. You know, looking at the cues of the goalkeeper, placement, overpower, there's so much different bits we need to refine. So that's on us, I guess. But yeah, at the same time, she had a great performance in the first half, and we probably should go into the half-time 1 or 2 up.
Just to touch about a couple of players individually, Alicia Body and Amber Keegan's also absolutely outstanding in that midfield today. It was a really good battle between obviously yourselves and Durham today. What do those two bring in terms of the whole general picture of an actual game, and how different are they to the other players in the squad?
Yeah, I think all the girls display really similar values. I think Amber and Alicia really embody that drive and determination when they're playing. They've got that passion for the club. They've got excellent athleticism, both of them. So they dominate second balls. They cover every blade of grass, definitely. And yeah, I think they have that positive attitude to help drive others with their standards. So yeah, both of those girls I thought played well today, and they have done pretty much every game so far of the season. So yeah, credit to them too, and we need to take that into Sunderland.
And a former Sunderland player, now obviously a Newcastle player, Claudia. Again, we talk about the Durham goalkeeper being outstanding, but a big save, particularly in the first half, outstanding, and the distribution as well. Is that something that is really important to you in terms of a goalkeeper, having that maybe that different outlet in terms of the distribution? Because it certainly seems to have helped you so far this season. Yeah,
definitely. I thought Claudia had a good performance today. I thought she was really unlucky for the goal they actually scored. I thought she came across and covered that area well. But yeah, especially that save in the first half, you know, that kept us, that was probably their only chance of the half, but it needed to be that big save to make sure we didn't go into the half 1-0 down. But yeah, her distribution's excellent. Some of her longer kicking today I thought was excellent. And yeah, that'll be a massive weapon going forward.
And just finally, is obviously a big game next week. When you look at the fact it's your first competitive derby, and I've had a couple of friendlies as well, but how much are you looking forward to this? How much are you wanting to almost play tomorrow, I can imagine, after today?
Yeah, I can't wait for it. We had one experience, you know, my time here playing at the Stadium of Light, and it was an unbelievable game of football. We ended up losing the game 3-2, but we were the underdogs of the game and went 1-0 up. So there was lots of emotions and feelings that day, and, you know, we still talk about it now. We still talk about the memories of that day, but we also still talk about the fact that, you know, we didn't win the game. And yeah, we want to make sure that we're giving a really good performance against Sunderland and putting the kind of wrongs right from today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Angela, I think just on Durham today, does that just show how experienced they are in this division and something that you're just going to have to learn on the job essentially?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really see the experience. I just saw them finish the chance, and it was not really, if I'm being honest. I thought we were the better team. So yeah, but you've got to put the ball in the back of the net, which gives you the 3 points. So yeah, I think it's small margins, and we just haven't finished our chance today.
How frustrating was it going in at half time when it was still 0-0 and you had all those chances, and what was said at half time to try and get the second goal?
Yeah, I think there wasn't really the frustration. It was, you know, the positivity that we'd had the stronger half. So we wanted to make sure that we started the half, you know, on the front foot, because it's been an area we felt like we've dropped off a little bit as we start halves. Conceded a couple of goals in that time period of the game, of the last 4 games. But yeah, I think, it's massive that we should have finished those chances in the first half to give us that better platform for half time. But at half time, the girls were positive and we wanted to keep that momentum going.
And finally, even when you go 1-0 down right at the end, do you still have that belief that even though there's not a lot of time left, that you could have still got an equaliser?
Yeah, definitely. I think again we had a really good chance after the goal we'd conceded. So again, we could have come away with a point potentially, but. I think there's always that belief until that final whistle goes. We'll give everything right to the end, and felt like another chance was coming.
Just on the finishing, is it a concern, or is it just one of them days where it just didn't go right today?
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned. I think, Amy will feel disappointed she hasn't finished one of her chances, but it's not a concern because I thought she was the best finisher in the pre-season. So if I look back to her goal against Man United in pre-season, against Glasgow City in pre-season, a finish against AC Milan at St James's Park, I'm massively confident in her ability. I think she's one of the best nines in the league. So yeah, I'm confident, and I know it'll click, and there'll be no one more disappointed than her after today's game, because she would have been really hungry to score against her old club, but sometimes it's just not meant to be.
And just finally, on the front line, you changed both your wide players during the game. Have you sort of in your own mind settled on which two you'd like to play?
No, I think it's, for us, every single game, it gives us a different problem. So therefore we look at which players have different attributes to solve that problem, I guess. We went for Sophie's hold-up play in the first half, and she was interchanging with Amy as a 9 and a wide player. And I think it needed that different solution in the second half. And Izzy started to stretch in behind a little bit more, which caused their full-back and centre-back, a couple more problems. But I think the thing is with it, we've got the depth in the squad, so we've got different attributes from different players. Beth Lumsden's a very different winger to Katie Barker or Sophie or Shania. So yeah, we've just got to work different options and have that variability in how we play. A massive part for us is just ensuring we have variation in terms of how we threaten in behind. So yeah, we try and mix it up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Just finally, George touched on it very briefly there, but the fact is that you've been beaten by a team who are second top and a point behind, and yet you've more than matched them, in my opinion, today.
Yeah.
That must give you confidence going forward.
Yeah, definitely. But a club like Newcastle United should be finishing higher than our counterparts, if I'm being really honest. So in terms of, we take positivity from that, I guess, because they've experienced and had a good start to the season. But at the same time, we need to be, driving forward and learning quickly in this league.
Hi Becky, expectations for the season, are they still the same, or have you looked at this after the defeat? Where are you looking this season?
Nah, expectations haven't changed after one result. I think we're really delighted with the 4 games we've had prior to that. We're unbeaten in those 4 games, so nothing's changed. We took a lot of confidence from the Everton game, in the sense of like that confidence. Wow, if we can do that against a WSL team, we can do that against any championship team. So yeah, it's a bump in the road, but I've never expected any league I've ever been in to be playing sailing, whether that was Tier 4, Tier 3 or the Championship. So it's not the first game we've lost, as I said previously, and we'll dust ourselves down and go again.
The girls that aren't currently getting game time at the moment, are there any plans to have them feature for the development squad?
Yeah, definitely. I think Casey played there today, so she's got some minutes. There's be other opportunities for players to gain minutes, but to be fair, on Wednesday night there was a good chunk of players who got those minutes. Hannah Greenwood played a good chunk of minutes. Georgia came on and made a really good impact. Katie Barker played the full 90. So we're pretty happy with the squad rotation at the minute, but yeah, we've levelled up and people understand their role for the season.
And the last one for me, is there any permanent roles for goalkeeping coach and Claire's position? I believe they're on temporary, is that right?
Yeah, no, the goalkeeping coach role is permanent, and Claire's has already moved to a permanent role. So we're really happy with both those two staff who are working with us at the moment. They bring great experience, and they've both been at Durham previously, so today will sting definitely for both of them. But they brought such a professionalism and a lot of knowledge into today's game, and their support for myself and others has been second to none. So they're quality coaches, and that's what we want to build, that staff team of quality individuals, and then collectively work together to get the best out of these great group of girls.